B2B sales isn't a skill you can just pick up by attending a workshop. It takes practice, dedication, and time to master. The problem is that the training most salespeople get isn't effective. Over 90% of workshop and seminar content is forgotten within 30 days. However, there is a better way. Unlike other sales training programs, our Momentium system combines traditional teaching techniques, an interactive sales simulator, and video conference coaching. Allowing salespeople to learn and practice new skills is what sets us apart from other training providers. Our training programs have proven to be more effective than any workshop or seminar. We improve sales forces, guaranteed. Each week, your salespeople will complete one training module, which consists of several lessons and simulated sales calls. Each module requires learners to learn new concepts, practice those concepts in simulated sales calls, and confirm their understanding in recap sessions and video conference coaching. First, the Coaching Academy contains short, interactive, and focused lessons that will teach salespeople the skills and techniques they need to be successful. We devote time to core concepts and advanced tools every salesperson needs to know. Every concept is delivered one at a time, ensuring salespeople have a chance to practice concepts before moving on to new ones. After learning a new skill, salespeople must complete a series of 3 lifelike sales calls where they open, develop, and close a deal.
Christy, what do you think is the single biggest development opportunity for your sales force?
Our team members are tech experts who traditionally relied on their tech knowledge to sell. More and more, we are dealing with non-IT people who need a different approach.
Momentium provides learners the opportunity to put techniques into practice immediately. This develops better habits leading to greater sales success. After successfully completing the sales simulation in each module, you'll review the key factors that led to the success in those sales calls. This guided reflection is crucial when it comes to creating long-term mastery. Beyond being the most effective sales training system available today, organizations that use Momentium enjoy several other benefits as well. The online training lets us track and record activity within each module. We use this information to benchmark your team's performance and show you how each of your salespeople are improving.
And with this, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to our third panelist for today, who's going to be the keynote speaker, Miss Sana Sheraz, who is a chartered MCIPD from Chartered Institute of Personal Development, who's also a certified HR professional with an MS degree in Human Resources Management and Organizational Design from one of the finest education institutions in the UK, King's College London. Sana brings with herself a collective experience of organizational design and development and total rewards and change management. She has been associated with Haleeb Foods Limited for over a year now in the capacity of Head of Human Resources, where she aspires to set in motion a change that will put HFL at par with other leading FMCGs of the country. Being a strong advocate of empowerment and inclusion, Sana brings in diversity, which has proven to be the foundation of growth in today's day and age. Prior to this, she has worked at Fatma Group and Venture Drive. With this, let me hand the floor to Sana. Hi, Sana. How are you today?
Hello, Fan. I'm well. How are you? I hope you can see me fine.
Yes, we can see you. We can hear you all perfect. So with this, Sana, please go ahead. Take your time. Do not rush. I know we're going to be a little bit delayed, and we're going to go overtime today because we would have to request our CEO, Margaret Zimmerman, to also join us with her closing remarks. So as long as you have time, we are good. All right. So floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, everybody. So my topic, keynote point is sales L&D, where it goes from here. So as all of you know that, we're facing a pandemic situation, and like Dr. Iqtidar touched base upon, the psychiatric impact of that, and rightly so, Mugi's touched base on, how coaching and mentoring can help employees and organizations in today's day and age. So what are L&D leaders and what are L&D specialists going through right now? So basically, as you know that, the companies generally are under pressure And HR in many of the organizations at large is trying to come up with new ways and reinventing themselves as well. At the same time, we also have to see where our employees are. So, like rightly Mohi said, those businesses who are the essential businesses and have been operating from the start, yes, were facing certain issues, because I think the disease, the pandemic, it caught us by surprise. It was there, nobody was prepared. All of a sudden, everybody has to work from home. So what do you do of those people who cannot work from home, who have to be out there in the market and who have to be at the forefront? So, I think it's a very important that leaders, especially, have that empathy in them. They, if not, they develop that empathy in them, whereby they're able to understand what their teams at large are going through. Because at the end of the day, you have to create that experience for them. You have to be that much caring towards your employees in order to deliver. So I think one of the key skills that in today's day and age will work and will be crucial for the times to come is empathy at all levels. From sales perspective, I personally believe that I think people need to now reinvent themselves, because you have also seen that consumer patterns are changing. There was a time when everybody was investing in luxury goods, but now it's more about the basic needs. All you need are the basic food items, and rightly so. If you see the Maslow's needs hierarchy, there was a time when there was a switch, there was a drift from that hierarchy where the basic needs were taken for granted, and as a subsequent result, the needs that became very basic were appreciation, need to work, all such things, whereas now the basic needs are back to surviving needs. So how do you deal with this entire situation if you're part of the team which is at the forefront, and you cannot be, you cannot work from home, or you cannot work remotely? So first and foremost, I think it's important that you reinforce, you redefine, you train your workforce on your health and safety protocols. I think it's very important for them to start from there. Give them the basic tools, the necessary tools they need to go out and deliver in the market. Generally, hamara trend bhi, if you see, is of the sales is such that you work in groups. You go, you meet people, you're either meeting large grocery store individuals, or you're out there at even the smallest of the shop, kiryane wali ki store pe bhi you will be there. So what do you do exactly, and how do how do you keep yourself safe? So I think it's very important for individuals to be given proper tools, proper protocol, proper SOPs on how to conduct themselves if they're at the forefront. Then a lot of organizations have gone online. E-commerce is a big thing. So getting yourselves equipped with the e-commerce, those skills in terms of how uh, how that will play a part in upscaling your skill. I think that's where the organizations will now have to spend more time. They will now have to up their games in terms of moving on to e-commerce, whereby you can just, it's direct to door, what you would say. You would just simply get things delivered at anyone's doorstep. For that, you need to enhance your customer service. You need to be in touch constantly with your customer to just have that check on the sentiment on how they're feeling. So you need to get your sales team trained on customer service. There is a big thing about call centers. How do people stay in touch with the organizations, or with the providers of the basic needs? What do you do then? So you need to have that connect with your teams out there. You need to have that connect with your customers out there. So customer service is a key, empathy is a key, and upscaling yourself, exploring, like I said, e-commerce, digitalization, exploring new avenues. You have to up your game. You have to reinvent yourself. And it's not only for these times, but it's for times to come as well, because what will happen once the pandemic is over? You will have to readjust, you will have to rethink. But whatever steps you take right now in terms of building your people, whatever steps you take right now in terms of building your organizations, will help you in times to come as well. Now, secondly, I think the other most important thing that that the leaders or the L&D specialists would think of is, how do you incorporate in today's day and age, especially when the businesses are under pressure, what do you do of trainings? what do you do of your budgets? Will you have enough budgets with, or you will not have enough budgets? Will you still do in-person trainings? Because what, having said everything, having done the virtual sessions as well, but when you have a face-to-face interaction, obviously there is a different feel, there is a different connect. What do you do? How do you keep that ongoing? How do you, can you rightly just transform your uh, classroom trainings to digital classrooms? Will that work? So everybody's still thinking, how you can give them the same experience. Can you do some gamification? There are a lot of tools out there. There are a lot of opportunities out there whereby organizations are introducing gamification into their L&D. So in order to keep people motivated, in order for them to learn through such tools whereby they understand what are the ground realities. So that's an avenue organizations can look at. And then coaching and mentoring. I think where there is so much stress, where there's so much uncertainty, and where people have to be out there, it's very important for the leaders, for the line managers, for the sales head, for the channel heads to be connected with their teams. I think it's very important for them to continuously mentor them, to continuously coach them, and so that they know that someone out there has their back, so that they understand that someone out there is willing to spend time with them, to understand to their challenges, and is able to revert back to them in whatever need they feel. Secondly, lastly, I think other thing I think in today's time that we need to focus on as organizations is develop your own internal faculties. Yes, you can go out, but you need to build your own faculty of trainers. You need to focus more on internal trainings. You need to give individuals a chance to come up and train their own individuals. So for example, you have a sales head or you have a sales line manager. Why not give that person enough time and enough chance to go and coach and train other individuals? That person will feel motivated, that person will feel appreciated in times of stress and uncertainty, where you have invested on them. He or she may feel good about that. Move to online digitalized platforms. You have to, at the end of the day, you have to explore alternative means to survive as well. You have to explore alternative means to train your individuals as well. So what do? Where the entire world is thinking from working from home, and where the basic necessities have become the most crucial items. So what do? You reinvent and you rethink of your strategies of sale. Is going to every shop more important, or you can do e-commerce? So you can do the cost and benefit analysis, and you can see where, what are the needs, where the mass is going, where, what will give you more benefit at the end of the day. And from there, I think you can define your role as far as upscaling your teams are concerned, upscaling your businesses are concerned. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about giving trainings to individuals. It's also about setting a course whereby it stands for tomorrow as well. It justifies your actions and it stands for tomorrow, that why you took a certain particular stance today. So I think L&D leaders are also still thinking in terms of what to do, what not to do. Would you be having enough budgets? Would you not be having enough budgets? So I still think we're in the middle of devising plans for future. We're in the middle of thinking what can be done better. Appreciation is utmost important. Your salespeople are out there in the field, so appreciate them. As an L&D individual, it's not just about getting them trained. It's also about appreciating them on the work that they're doing. How do you stay connected with them? Have you provided them with enough tools to stay connected with them 24 hours? Think of those tools, start defining those tools, start devising those tools. So that's another thing that the organizations or the L&D leaders could look at. And again, I would touch base on customer service. I think in today's time, customer service is the utmost important skill that any sales individual would need, because whereby people are avoiding going to the markets, where there is so much lockdown and restrictions in place, where things are changing so drastically and are evolving. I think it's important for everybody to stay connected with their customers. You need to know exactly what their sentiments are, what their needs are, what you can do that would help them, and that will set your organization apart as well. So I do think that customer service, digitalization, empathy, mentoring, and coaching, these are the main skills that would be needed for sales individuals in times to come and in present situation as well. Now, coming to the role of L&D leaders and what do we see further? I think it's very, now is the right time for the organizations to collaborate with their L&D leaders, to collaborate with their HR individuals, to define a strategy whereby you have a clear direction for the individuals in terms of how you're there to support them, whether they're working from home, whether they're in office, whether they're out in the field. Everybody is doing their bit. Everybody is chipping in for the success of the organization. So what do you do? What do you do for them? What tools do you have? What is it that reflects a gap and that is an opportunity for you to work on? So now is the time to analyze all such things. Now is the time to look at the value chain in totality. It's not just about selling out there in the market. It's about equipping those people with the right tools, with the right information, with the right protocols to be able to stand tall where there is so much uncertainty out there, because at the end of the day, everybody feels for their own safety. मार्केट में जाते हैं, घर आते हैं, खुद भी एक्सपोज हो रहे हैं, घर वालों को भी एक्सपोज करते हैं. So at the back of their mind, they're stressed as well. What are you doing to release their stress? What are you doing to facilitate them? Are you appreciating them enough? Are you accommodating them enough? So these are all the things that I believe organizations should look at and organizations should work upon. Budgets or no budgets, I believe there are a lot of things where organizations can manage themselves internally. There are a lot of avenues which will now open for organizations to self-develop themselves, to self-develop their individuals, which is the right time, which will give a lot of growth opportunities for individuals as well. And now is the time, I think, where you can reinvent. You can come up with new areas. You can come up with new opportunities, whether it's about selling, whether it's about marketing, whether it's about growing your individuals, whether it's about, exploring different business opportunities. Because at the end of the day, we're back to square one where basic needs are important. It's no more about the luxury. It's about having the basic needs delivered at your doorstep. Is that an avenue for you? What do you do? So, all these things are where L&D individuals are exploring at, where organizations are looking at, and which will give some clarity to the businesses and some clarity to the people in terms of what they need to look forward to from their organizations. So I'll keep it short, but these are my 2 bits on how I see the L&D role will evolve further and how I see that organizations can learn in terms of developing their own sales field people.
Wonderful.
So thank you.
Wonderful, Sana. Thank you so much for with your keynote. It was very enlightening, and actually, all 3 of my favorite topics, which has been for today's session. How do you address your mental, keep mental sanity in check, and building a sales coaching strategy, and all the perspective that you brought for L&D has been nothing but like music to my ears, right? Which I have stopped listening to, but I still admire that.